Elon Musk just pulled off the most electrifying infrastructure takeover of the 21st century. Rumors are spreading like wildfire. Elon Musk is making a bold, audacious $70 billion move to seize control of the iconic Panama Canal, the indispensable gateway that handles a significant percent of the world's trade. If true, this could irrevocably reshape global shipping forever, and leave competitors frantically scrambling for alternatives. Panama Canal, the indispensable gateway that handles a significant percent of the world's trade. If true, this could irrevocably reshape global shipping forever and leave competitors frantically scrambling for alternatives. But why the Panama Canal, and why now? Is this Musk's secret play to dominate international logistics, or is it part of a much grander plan involving Tesla, SpaceX, and even Mars? Stay with us as we uncover the shocking truth behind the jaw-dropping reports, the staggering price tag, and Musk's ingenious strategy to outsmart his rivals once again. Musk's Panama power play. Elon Musk, the man who has turned electric cars into status symbols, rockets into reusable commodities, and Twitter into, well, a bit of a mess, is now eyeing a new frontier, the Panama Canal. The same waterway that has been a linchpin of global trade since 1914 could soon be under the control of the world's most unpredictable billionaire. And if you think this sounds like the plot of a Bond villain's master plan, you're not entirely wrong. Let's break this down. Musk has always been vocal about how infrastructure shapes the future. He's not wrong. SpaceX depends on shipping channels to transport its Falcon rockets across states. Tesla needs a steady flow of lithium and other minerals through key trade routes. And Starlink's satellite internet thrives on maritime customers like shipping fleets. In other words, Musk's empire is already deeply intertwined with global logistics. So why not just own a piece of it? But what's in it for Musk? If Musk were to gain control of the Panama Canal, the implications would be staggering. For starters, he could integrate the canal's operations with Tesla's AI-driven logistics systems. It would be a world where Tesla batteries manufactured in Nevada reach Asian markets faster than your Amazon Prime package arrives at your door. Or Starship components gliding seamlessly across oceans without the usual bureaucratic delays. Faster, cheaper deliveries? Check. A logistical edge over competitors? Double check. But the Panama Canal isn't just a shortcut for goods, it's a geopolitical chess piece. It's vital for trade between the US, China, and Europe. If Musk owned it, he wouldn't just control a key artery of global commerce, he'd also hold a massive strategic lever in his hands. Need to ship goods to Europe? Better play nice with Elon. Want to ensure smooth trade with China? Maybe don't badmouth Tesla in your next press release. Owning the canal could give the United States an edge while throwing a wrench into the plans of global competitors. But how did we even get to this point? How did the man who once sold flamethrowers as a side hustle end up setting his sights on one of the most critical trade routes on Earth? For one, Musk has never been shy about thinking big, sometimes absurdly so. Colonizing Mars? Sure. Building underground hyperloops? Why not? So the Panama Canal fits right into his playbook. It's audacious. It's disruptive. And it's exactly the kind of challenge that makes him tick. Plus, let's not forget that Musk thrives on control. Whether it's launching satellites to create global internet coverage or building factories that churn out electric vehicles at breakneck speed, he's all about owning the entire supply chain. According to critics, the Panama Canal would be the ultimate power move, a literal choke point in global trade that Elon could optimize, monetize, and weaponize. Figuratively, we hope. The world's trade lifeline under pressure, the Panama Canal is a marvel of engineering, a masterpiece of logistics, and the ultimate shortcut for ships too impatient to sail around South America. Since its grand opening in 1914, this 50-mile-long aquatic highway has been a beacon of global trade efficiency, slicing 8,000 miles off a ship's journey between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. Over 13,000 vessels cruise through it annually, ferrying everything from oil and cars to bananas and the latest must-have electronics. It's not just a canal, it's the lifeblood of global commerce. But lately, the Panama Canal has been feeling the heat, literally. Climate change has thrown a wrench into its smooth operations, with reduced rainfall leading to lower water levels. And when there's less water, you guessed it, fewer ships can pass through at a time. No ships, no cargo. Delays pile up. Costs spike. No business as usual, just chaos and economic shock waves. Let's put this into perspective. 5% of the world's trade flows through the Panama Canal. That's 144 routes connecting 170 countries. Over 1 billion tons of goods traverse its locks each year. It's not just important, it's indispensable. Yet here we are, watching one of the planet's most critical trade arteries waver under the weight of climate change and logistical chaos. As if climate woes weren't enough, it seems the Panama Canal has found itself entangled in a geopolitical tug-of-war between the United States and China. Secretary of State Marco Rubio recently stirred the pot by suggesting that China has a contingency plan to shut down the canal in case of a conflict with the U.S. Rubio didn't mince words when he called this a national security threat, and he's not alone. President Donald Trump also had plenty to say about Chinese influence over the canal, accusing Panama of breaking promises made during the canal's transfer to Panamanian control in 1999. Trump even vowed that the U.S. would take back the canal, though he conveniently left out the when and how part of that promise. Classic Trump, right? So what does Panama have to say about all this? Well, let's just say they're not thrilled about being caught in the crossfire of a U.S.-China tug-of-war. The Panamanian government has consistently refuted allegations that it ceded control of the canal to China or violated any agreements during its transfer from American hands. For Panama, the canal is more than just a waterway, it's their national pride and economic backbone. Accusations like these aren't just political jabs, they're personal. Imagine someone accusing you of mishandling your prized family heirloom. Now multiply that by 1 billion tons of cargo and sprinkle in some international diplomacy. Now let's play a little game of what if? Imagine the 110-year-old wonder comes to a screeching halt and starts gasping for air, or more aptly, water. Chaos. Protests. And a whole lot of finger-pointing. Economies would wobble like a Jenga tower missing half its blocks. Shipping companies would scramble to reroute vessels around South America's Cape Horn, a journey that adds weeks and thousands of miles to their trips. And you? You'd be staring at empty grocery store shelves, wondering why avocados suddenly cost more than gold bars. A waterway on the brink. Let's paint a picture. Every time a ship passes through the Panama Canal, it's like a giant drinking straw sucking up 200 million liters of fresh water to lift vessels 85.3 feet above sea level. This water comes from two lakes, Lagoon and Lago Aljajuela, which are essentially the canal's kidneys, filtering and supplying the lifeblood it needs to operate. Sadly, these lakes are running low. Think of it as the canal being on a near-involuntary water diet, and trust me, it's not slimming down in a good way. In 2019, freshwater reserves dwindled to about 3 billion cubic meters, far below the 5,250 million cubic meters needed to keep things running smoothly. Experts are pointing fingers at climate change, severe droughts, and El Niño, which is like that annoying guest who shows up uninvited and eats all the snacks, or in this case, drinks all the rain. Luz Delgadillo, Panama's meteorology guru, has already warned that El Niño is set to make things even drier in the latter half of this year. But if you think this is just Panama's problem, you're wrong. In 2022 fiscal years alone, over 14,000 ships carrying a staggering 518 million tons of cargo passed through the canal. That's $2.5 billion in revenue for Panama's treasury, and countless goods delivered worldwide. If the canal shuts down or even scales back operations, you can bet your bottom dollar that shipping companies will scramble for alternative routes, and by alternative routes we mean going back to the good old days of Cape Horn navigation. Sure, it's scenic, but it also adds weeks to shipping times and piles of extra costs. Imagine your favorite online retailer telling you your package will arrive in 4 to 6 weeks because the Panama Canal is parched. Suddenly those 2 days shipping guarantees seem like ancient history. But the canal isn't just thirsty, it's also competing for water with over half of Panama's 4.3 million residents. The canal basin supplies drinking water to Panama City and beyond. But as urban expansion sprawls like an unruly teenager's laundry pile, water resources are stretched thinner than ever. Protests have already erupted in various parts of the country over supply issues, and experts warn that clashes between canal operations and local needs could escalate into full-blown water wars. It's a classic case of canal versus community, but sadly, nobody wins when there's no water left to fight over. Now the million-dollar, or perhaps billion-dollar, question is, what can be done? Experts are calling for long-term solutions to ensure the canal's survival. These include investing in water-saving technologies, reforestation efforts to improve rainfall retention, and better urban planning to curb Panama City's insatiable thirst for resources. Of course, implementing these solutions requires political will, international cooperation, and, let's face it, money. Lots of money. But given the canal's importance to global trade, it's safe to say that shutting it down isn't an option anyone wants to entertain for long. And that's where Elon Musk comes in. The Tesla and SpaceX mogul recently stirred up online chatter with a cryptic response to the U.S. President-elect Donald Trump's remarks about reclaiming the Panama Canal. So what does Musk know that we don't? Is he planning to build a solar-powered desalination plant? A hyperloop under the canal? Or perhaps he'll just tweet about it and move on to colonizing Mars? Who knows? Musk works in mysterious ways. From SpaceX to the Panama Canal, the man who wants to colonize Mars is now weighing in on a centuries-old waterway. But why, you might ask, does Musk care about a canal? The canal is facing operational challenges, and Musk, never one to miss an opportunity to stir the pot, has chimed in. In a post on X, formerly Twitter, Musk cryptically wrote, "2025 is going to be so lit." The timing of this comment was no coincidence. It came shortly after President Donald Trump announced his intention to reassert U.S. control over the canal, which he has dramatically rebranded as the United States Canal. Subtlety has never been Trump's strong suit. Trump accused Panama of overcharging for canal usage and raised concerns about potential Chinese influence on the waterway. In classic Trump fashion, he posed a rhetorical question to the crowd. Has anyone ever heard of the Panama Canal? Because we're being ripped off at the Panama Canal like we're being ripped off everywhere else. Not stopping there, Trump took to Truth Social to share an image of an American flag superimposed over a waterway with the caption, "Welcome to the United States Canal." If subtlety isn't Trump's forte, then understatement is his kryptonite. He also claimed that Panama has failed to uphold the moral and legal principles of the 1977 treaties that handed over control of the canal from the U.S. to Panama. Naturally, these comments have sparked international uproar. Panama isn't exactly thrilled about being called out on a global stage, and other nations reliant on the canal for trade are watching closely. So where does Musk fit into this geopolitical drama? As a man who thrives on disruption and bold moves, it's not hard to see him entertaining the idea of stepping into this fray. After all, Musk has a history of tackling massive challenges, building reusable rockets, revolutionizing electric transportation, and even dabbling in brain-computer interfaces with Neuralink. Could owning or influencing a strategic waterway be his next frontier? Let's not forget that Musk has a penchant for making cryptic yet provocative statements. His 2025 is going to be so lit comment could mean anything, or nothing. But given his track record, it's hard not to wonder if he's cooking up some audacious plan involving the canal. Maybe he's envisioning autonomous Tesla cargo ships cruising through a hyper-efficient AI-controlled waterway. Or perhaps he's considering a SpaceX-style boring canal, bypassing Panama altogether with some underground tunnel system. With Musk, no idea is too far-fetched. Now let's get down to brass tacks. The Panama Canal is valued at around $70 billion due to its critical role in global trade. Could Musk even afford such an acquisition? Well, with a net worth hovering around $394 billion, it's not entirely out of reach. But would he really want to sink that much money into a waterway when he's already juggling rockets, EVs, AI projects, and who knows what else? Then again, Musk isn't exactly known for playing it safe with his investments. If he sees an opportunity to revolutionize global trade, or simply make a statement, he might just go for it. And let's be honest, Elon Musk buys Panama Canal would make for one heck of a headline. In the meantime, the world waits to see how this drama unfolds. Will Trump escalate his rhetoric? Will Panama push back harder? And will Elon Musk actually do something, or just sit back and enjoy watching the chaos unfold? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, 2025 is indeed shaping up to be so lit. The $70 billion price tag. If Elon Musk were to set his sights on buying the Panama Canal, one of the most strategic and iconic waterways in the world, how might he pull it off? After all, this isn't just some quirky Twitter poll or a Mars-bound rocket launch. We're talking about a $70 billion price tag, geopolitical complexities, and a state-owned entity that doesn't exactly have a buy now button. But if there's one thing Musk excels at, it's turning the impossible into the inevitable, and making it look like a sci-fi movie while he's at it. Now let's take a close look at Elon Musk's playbook. Elon Musk isn't just a businessman, he's a master of the art of other people's money. From Tesla's gigafactories to SpaceX's Starlink expansions, Musk has repeatedly proven his knack for attracting external investors to fund his grand visions. So if he were to buy the Panama Canal, you can bet your Bitcoin that he'd assemble a dream team of strategic partners. Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund might be one of the first calls on his list. After all, they've already thrown billions at futuristic projects like NEOM, their sci-fi-esque desert city. Why not add a century-old canal to their portfolio? And let's not forget U.S. government-backed infrastructure funds. Controlling the Panama Canal isn't just a business proposition, it's a matter of national interest. The pitch would be something like, invest in the canal today and secure tomorrow's shipping lanes. Musk might even sprinkle in some innovative financing techniques. Think NFTs of canal tolls or a blockchain-based system where you can buy shares in individual locks. Because why not? If Dogecoin can fund a lunar mission, surely it can help with a canal. But here's where things start to get tricky. The Panama Canal isn't just any old piece of real estate. It's managed by the Panama Canal Authority, also known as ACP, a state-owned entity that answers to the Panamanian government, and by extension, its people. Any potential buyout would require navigating a labyrinth of political negotiations, public approval, and high-stakes diplomacy. Imagine Musk sitting across from Panamanian officials pitching his vision of a Tesla-powered waterway where ships are towed by AI-driven electric tugboats, and tolls are calculated via neural networks. It sounds futuristic, but would it fly in Panama? The country has a deep cultural and historical connection to the canal, and any deal would likely face intense public scrutiny. And let's not forget international politics. The canal is a global shipping artery connecting the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. Any change in ownership or management might not just create ripples, but unleash tidal waves across global trade dynamics. Would China, a major user of the canal, sit idly by? Would the U.S., which once controlled the canal, feel compelled to intervene? And let's not forget U.S. government-backed infrastructure funds. Controlling the Panama Canal isn't just a business proposition, it's a matter of national interest. The pitch would be something like, invest in the canal today and secure tomorrow's shipping lanes. Musk might even sprinkle in some innovative financing techniques. Think NFTs of canal tolls or a blockchain-based system where you can buy shares in individual locks. Because why not? If Dogecoin can fund a lunar mission, surely it can help with a canal. But here's where things start to get tricky. The Panama Canal isn't just any old piece of real estate. It's managed by the Panama Canal Authority, also known as ACP, a state-owned entity that answers to the Panamanian government, and by extension, its people. Any potential buyout would require navigating a labyrinth of political negotiations, public approval, and high-stakes diplomacy. Imagine Musk sitting across from Panamanian officials pitching his vision of a Tesla-powered waterway where ships are towed by AI-driven electric tugboats, and tolls are calculated via neural networks. It sounds futuristic, but would it fly in Panama? The country has a deep cultural and historical connection to the canal, and any deal would likely face intense public scrutiny. And let's not forget international politics. The canal is a global shipping artery connecting the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. Any change in ownership or management might not just create ripples, but unleash tidal waves across global trade dynamics. Would China, a major user of the canal, sit idly by? Would the U.S., which once controlled the canal, feel compelled to intervene?